Hey, what's up, you guys? Mrk7Zero here, coming at you guys with a standard figure review. Now, I picked this guy up after a successful hunt at Target, and the main reason why I picked up this character is because it's Miles Morales, the main character of the upcoming Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie in theaters. We're days away from the movie, and I am super hyped. Now, this line is kind of weird. There's a few things in this Marvel Legends line that I do not like, and we're going to go ahead and talk about them here. But I'm going to say this right off the bat. This is going to be a pretty quick review. I'm just going to review it and compare it with some of my go-tos like Midoriya, Blue Beetle, and SH Spider-Man. Not too many figures in my collection, just the go-to figures, and a couple of my Spider-Man figures that I have already. Now, I'll say this right now. This figure is going to sell out whether we like it or not. You know, good figure, bad figure. Whatever you think about it, it's the main character of the movie. People are going to get hyped before, people are going to get hyped after, people are going to be hyped during the movie, and they're going to go ahead and pick up this figure. So I went ahead and picked him up the second I saw him. He's not that expensive, he's like $25. So I will say this, if you can find one, go ahead, get it, track it down, because once the movie comes out, this figure is going to fly off the shelves. He's going to be sold out online everywhere, and people are going to be selling him on eBay and other websites for ridiculous prices. So yeah, let's go ahead and open up the figure and see what we do. Let's knock out the packaging really quick. Really nice blister card with a plastic bubble in front, and let's go ahead and take a look at the back real quick. Now, the good thing about this packaging for me personally is that since I don't keep the packaging, it's easier to toss it. This is just two pieces of plastic and a cardboard back. I have no reason to keep it. But it's nice for what it is, you know, a display piece on the store shelves. Pretty cool. Small rundown of Morales himself and all the figures in the line itself. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and let's get to it. Okay, now that I got Miles out of the packaging, let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories really quick. Nothing. He doesn't come with anything. He comes with an alternative head, and he comes with a pair of flipping hands. They're pretty nice, but unfortunately, they're really small. They're really tiny, and that peg is just ridiculously thin. It's like, I'm scared of breaking it. I don't understand why they had to go so thin. The sculpt is nice, but the plastic is ridiculously thin and it's extremely gummy. So I don't know what they were thinking going with such a slim material. Talking about thin, Miles looks like he needs a sandwich. I don't understand why they went so thin. Let's go ahead and knock out the basics really quickly. So Miles, let's see. I have him standing up pretty straight. He is about 5 3/4 inches to the top of his head. Flip it over. About 14.5 centimeters, give or take. Now, let's go ahead and just knock out the articulation. He's ridiculously skinny. I understand he's extremely stylized, but he got thicker in the movie. He's, you know, stronger, buffer. Loose plastic on him too. Got a lot of these little plastic chips coming off of him. Almost like they didn't take it off the mold properly. Okay, well, I'll clean them up later, but I don't understand what Hasbro was thinking when they decided to make him extra lanky, like more plastic shedding off him. I get it. He's skinny, he's a kid, but he's matured. He's a little bigger now. That, and I guess they downgraded when it comes to like articulation. I'll talk more about that in a second. Well, let's go ahead. The head, nice likeness. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. It's got a hair on the nose. Sorry about that. Nice colored eyes. Kind of a glossy skin tone, but not terrible. It looks like the character. I like it. It's just a ball peg that attaches to the top of the neck, which is a shame that they changed it out because the last Miles figure was a double ball peg, or is a barbell joint. So we can't even, swap them out. Anyways, Miles. Let's go ahead and knock out the articulation real quick. So Miles, that isn't a ball joint with a hinge. It's really thin hinge. So be careful with that. It's got great range. Mine's got some kind of bend at the top of the head. Some kind of pressure bend. Or stress mark. It's unfortunate. Anyways, so articulation wise, his head can look all the way up. It's on that ball joint. Look down really well. Little tilt. Not bad. It pops up pretty easy too. If you're afraid of stressing it out, add a little heat, it just pops up even easier. Anyways, arms, no butterflies, so that's unfortunate. I mean, with this, how thin he is, look at that. He's ridiculously thin. Not surprised they didn't go with butterfly joints. That's hideous, but no one's abs bend like this. And it's good range for what it does, but if you're not, faking it, it just looks weird. I mean, I get it, nobody's gonna pose their Miles like this, but, they've done better. And I'll show you in a minute. Arms, where you show the T-pose. Swivel here. This is really, really flimsy, so be very careful. Double jointed elbows, pinless, which is really nice. I do like the detail they put into him. More plastic shedding. He's got like a scale pattern on him. I mean, I think it's supposed to be more webbing, but it kind of looks like scales. I don't mind. Does the head have like a blue tint? That's interesting. The plastic has like a blue tint on the face. That's cool. Gives it a nice, like animated look, like he's always looking into the light. Anyways, okay. Let's take a look at the arm. So double jointed elbow, pinless. Mine seems to be jammed at the top, but a little work. There we go. Kind of awkward, but functional. You get a lot of cool poses out of that. Again, you don't have to use both. It's still pretty decent range. Both fists and the flipping hands have a hinge. So, with that, already showed off the waist, torso, ugly twist, but it's not the first time we've seen something like this. It's just super weird. I really don't get it. Legs go about that far, so no splits. Thigh cut, just destroys the sculpt and paint, so that's pretty disturbing. And I feel like they missed paint here. Like, see how the blue just cuts off? That's like abrupt. Let me know if yours has paint here. Might just be my copy. I don't know. If they're all like that, that's lame, but whatever. Legs, double jointed pinless knees. Nice range. Kind of a long calf or shin. A little too long to be natural, but whatever. Toes. No toes, I'm sorry. Peg holes. Ankle pivot is ridiculous. You can break his ankles. I get it, he's hyper flexible, but you know, why not? I wish my ankles still work like that. Forward bend. This plastic is just so gummy. Stuck backwards, nothing. I don't want to break it. But he's got good range. Forwards and backwards. Ballerina. Articulation is really good. Proportions, you're gonna have to throw them out the window because the proportions of this guy are terrible. They're just figure-wise, it just doesn't work. Character-wise, it looks great. Like on screen, his model looks fantastic. If you've seen any of the trailers, his character model looks good. I like it. His design looks nice. But just translating it to figure form, Hasbro didn't necessarily stick the landing. There are a few other companies out there. Whoops, my bad. There's a few other companies out there making Miles figures, but this is going to be the entry level, I would say. I mean, at $25, we've gotten way better figures for $25. So I'm not going to defend, the engineering with the price. You can get better for the price. Can you get a better Miles for that price? That is yet to be determined. Let me go ahead and compare him to the older Miles first, and then I'll get to some other comparisons. Okay, so the first Into the Spider-Verse Miles figure. I don't know what happened here to go from this to this. I feel like Hasbro fired everyone on this team and got a bunch of new people on this team. Like, they just reset everything when it came to Miles. I don't understand. Like, what was the purpose of making this figure the way they did? Because this is a far better figure in my opinion. This one has a few things that are cool, but this is an awesome figure. Now, my number one thing about this figure is the articulation on this figure. Let me go ahead and remove these. These are extra parts, extra accessories, more or less, kind of like bonus parts. I'm gonna do this off camera real quick. Hasbro, I don't get it. This is 30% done. No, maybe I want to say maybe 90% done. Well, no, we'll go half and half. We'll go 80% done. We'll split the difference a little bit. This is like 80% of a figure right here. Like, all they had to do here was swap out the arms, give us spider arms, or sleeveless arms, and the spider suit torso. Also remove the shoes, and it would have been an amazing figure. This guy has almost import articulation. So it's got the upper bend, the lower bend, and it's got a ball joint at the bottom. Like, that looks more natural. Look at this. That's a natural crunch. This is ridiculous. Like, why did they do that? Why did they go from this to this? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And it's not like, again, they didn't have that much. They didn't need to do too much. They just needed to modify this a little bit. What did they do that forced them to go from this to this? I'm super confused. And you know what? They could have reused all of this again, since he wears this exact same jacket and sweater in the new movie. I don't get it. Anyways, well, let me knock out my comparisons. Okay, so before I move on real quick, let me just compare the head sculpts real quick. So they did age him up, so that's nice. You know, he went from a concerned kid, which he was in the first movie, to a, I guess, more confident young adult, like he is in this movie. So that's nice to see that they got, you know, the character progression expressed in the sculpt. So that's cool. I like that. Yeah, see, they swapped it out, the double ball joint, the barbell joint, to just the ball and hinge on the new one. Here we have the Into the Spider-Verse Gwen. So, you know, that's a nice comparison. It just, you know, the proportions on this figure annoy me so much when comparing him to other characters. It's like his legs are ridiculously skinny. Like Gwen's arms are about as thick as his calves. You know, it's like, and since his plastic is kind of gummy, balancing him is really difficult. He's so skinny. It's not even fair. Like, I feel like his legs are gonna bend on just his normal weight. You know? They feel so skinny. It's a shame. I'm gonna compare him to another Miles real quick. A couple Miles real quick. Here we have the symbiote Carnage Miles, or I think it's Venomized Miles, and the Gamerverse Miles Morales. Now this is the camo version. I don't have the standard version right now. I am picking it up with the upcoming re-release. I'm getting the re-release version, not the updated version with the blue electrical effects. So kind of weird how the re-release pre-orders came up right as they announced the reissue with, you know, blue arms. But anyways, that's another story. So you know, look at these guys. Look at the proportions on these guys. You know, like the legs specifically. That's what annoys me so much. I mean, normally your legs are, you know, technically thicker than your arms, but like these legs are the same thickness, or almost the same thickness as his arms. And that really does annoy me for a character who's jumping and kicking and running, and you know, he's supposed to be muscular. He's a superhero. He's a superhero, not. He looks like Captain America before he takes the serum. You know, they should have reused this sculpt if they were going to go with this articulation scheme. This one has butterfly joints. He's still slim. You know, this looks like a, you know, a buff teenager compared to, you know, as a skinny kid. Even this one has nice musculature. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nice things about this figure. It's more, well, whatever. I'll get to that when I get to the end. Just some of my other Spider characters. We have the Spider Noir from the Demogoblin 2-pack. Was it Demogoblin or forget which Build-A-Figure this one was. That wasn't Demogoblin. That was, I think, Lizard. I don't remember. Let me know in the comment section below. With a custom fedora. The 2-pack Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, and the 2099 Spider-Man. This is the one that came with the Demogoblin. I'm sorry, I still have the Demogoblin flame sword that he came with. And yeah, since I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna pick up the new Spider-Man 2099, at least for this wave. I don't know, the proportions on that guy really upset me personally. When they announced him at the end of the first movie, that design was awesome, since 2099 is one of my favorite Spider-Man designs. When they updated it for the new movie, they gave him the Mr. Incredible vibe, where it's like, you know, triangular top body, really skinny legs. That kind of annoyed me, but it's, I don't know. I have to see the movie first because I really like Oscar Isaac and a lot of the things he does. Anyways, yeah. So another display of why this Spider-Man is just too skinny to be part of any other universe other than his own. Unfortunately, the other Miles figure fits in better with these three, just because his proportions make sense. This one, I don't know. It's really irking me. Okay, so final thoughts on this guy. I'm not gonna get the turntable for this guy because posing him is not a lot of fun. His proportions are just weird. He feels too gummy. I feel like I need to heat gun him every time I need to move him around. And as a matter of fact, I can't even heat gun it for that long. I have to just put it over. I guess I can heat this up with my laptop fan, and then, you know, modify his joints manipulate his joints every now and then to get a pose I want. But yeah, it's these are my go-to guys. Now, personally, when it comes to like articulation, I really like characters or figures that have 2 points of articulation in the abdominal section. You know, one in the, you know, upper, you know, the pectoral region, and then one towards the lower abdominal region. That's always a plus for me, which is why these three are usually in my reviews and the comparisons, because these guys have articulation schemes that I really like. Granted, they're all three different companies, but I know Marvel Legends and Hasbro have gone toe-to-toe with these guys. They've been able to replicate import quality articulation, and they just didn't do it for this character, which is a shame. It really is. Miles is the main character. You know, you would think his figure would be the best in the line, but it looks like the line itself is just, I guess it's not for everyone. You know, maybe it is targeted for a younger audience. I can see maybe my son enjoying this figure. He's 4 years old, so I don't know if I'll let him play with it too much, because again, the plastic is just so rubbery that he might just, you know, tear it apart. So it's like, it's confusing. Like, who is this figure for? Is this just like, you know, we know everybody's going to need a Miles with this new suit. They're either going to get this one, or they're going to get an import, which costs around $60 to $100. You know, so I'm going to say this: if you find one, and you know for a fact that you need a Miles, then yeah, sure, go ahead, get it, because it's gonna get, you know, it's gonna get scalped. That's just the way the game goes, unfortunately. And it's not a terrible looking figure, but it's not the best figure, unfortunately. You know, there are better options out there when it comes to Miles Morales across the Spider-Verse figures. But in my case, this is the best I can get for now. Maybe in the future, I'll be able to pick up an SH Figure Arts or something. Depending on how that, you know, they never really go on sale. So if I find one on eBay for a great price, you never know. I might just get lucky. Anyways, that's Mrk7Zero. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Let me know if you guys are going to pick it up. Let me know if you guys are going to pass. Let me know if you're going to go check out the movie on release date, or if you're going to see it within the first month that it comes out. I'm probably going to see it a day after release date just because of my work schedule, but I am going to see it the second I get the chance because I am super excited for this movie. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys.